Now, on Sunrise and streaming on CrossroadsToday.com, Americans gathered to pay their respects to Rosalynn Carter yesterday as she laid in repose in Atlanta, Georgia. We're following the latest on her memorial services. Turning now to the Crossroads in Victoria, BPD SWAT faced an hours-long standoff with a man on East Guadalupe last Friday. We'll tell you what brought the BPD to the home and if anyone was hurt. And 2,000 miles northeast of Victoria in Vermont, a man accused of shooting 3 Palestinian students appeared in court yesterday for his arraignment. We'll tell you what may have triggered the suspect to shoot the victims.
And we're expecting to see some thunderstorms coming our way on Thursday, maybe even some becoming severe. We'll take a look at that in the weather coming up.
We have 5 remaining teams in the regional finals, and we will have at least one of them playing in the state semifinals. See what I mean in sports.
You're watching 25 News Now Sunrise. Good morning and thank you for joining us. I'm Carolina Astrain.
And I'm Parker Cox.
And today it's the 28th day of November. Time's flying by.
Time is flying, Carolina.
December's right around the corner.
Oh, Christmas is right around the corner.
Oh yeah, that's right. And it's 6:31 on our Tuesday morning, and on this day in 2012, The Hobbit, An Unexpected Journey premiered.
Oh my gosh, you know, I actually remember when that came out, people were going crazy.
Oh yeah.
People were going bananas for that show.
I love Lord of the Rings.
Oh yeah, a lot of people love Lord of the Rings. I'm more of a Star Wars guy.
Star Wars.
I just couldn't get into Lord of the Rings, you know? I don't know, that's not for everyone.
I like both. They both have like...
I can totally see why some people love it. There's lots of lore and stuff behind it, but
yeah,
just
definitely.
Not me.
Parker.
No, I can't.
Well, we'll talk about Star Wars later.
Sure, absolutely.
What's in the stars for us weather-wise today?
Well, in the stars weather-wise today, in fact, you might be able to see a couple stars out there if you're speaking of stars, because it's a little partly cloudy, and the clouds will be clearing up throughout the rest of the day to become partly cloudy skies later. But if you're waking up this right now, if you're tuning in, look at a live look at North Victoria, where it is still cool out there. 50 degrees is that morning temperature starting out today. Now, it wasn't as bad as yesterday because we were like 46, 47 in the morning. It was pretty chill yesterday because that cold front came through on Sunday. But with a dew point of 35, it's a little dry, more of a dry cold because of that front that came through. They got dry, cold air mass. Well, like I said, with that cold front that came through, we're going to still be in the 60s today, going to be in the low 60s rather today, dropping back into the 40s overnight tonight, probably the upper 40s, and then tomorrow we're going to be in the mid 60s tomorrow, so we're going to slowly start warming up over the next few days. But then halfway through that little warming period, we're going to get a set of storms come our way off this tropical low. It's going to make landfall in California tomorrow. Once that makes landfall, it's going to quickly traverse right over the mountains and redevelop right in the Panhandle region on Thursday, bringing in all that southerly flow, all that moisture off the Gulf, and all that energy for some thunderstorms on Thursday. And in fact, those thunderstorms probably won't be just any ordinary thunderstorms. They could be severe because there will be plenty of atmospheric instability in the area, as all that moisture and buoyancy in the air can be easily lifted with that frontal boundary. And in fact, like I said, it could be severe. We got this National Weather Service even issued a slight risk, and this is 3 days out. This could become even more hazardous going into the next couple days. But some of us here, like half of Victoria, Jackson, Lavaca, and Wharton County, are in that slight risk for tornadoes and maybe even some hail. And come up a little bit, take a look at that, those risks and the warmer temperatures come this weekend, and more in just a few more moments. Back to you, Carolina.
Thank you, Parker. Final tributes got underway Monday for former First Lady Rosalynn Carter in her home state of Georgia. Rosalynn Carter laid in repose at the Jimmy Carter Presidential Library and Museum in Atlanta. The public paid their respects Monday, and the Carter Center says former President Jimmy Carter, who entered hospice care in February, plans to attend a memorial service today. President Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris are also expected to attend. Carter passed away last week at the age of 96. Texas DPS have released the name of the man who took his own life last Wednesday during a traffic stop with Victoria Police. The DPS have identified him as 45-year-old Kevin Bennettson. It's unclear at this time why he took his own life. An 87-year-old Houston man died at the scene of a crash Saturday night in Refugio County. It happened on State Highway 239 and involved 3 vehicles. That's from a report by the Refugio County Press. The man reportedly drove head-on into oncoming traffic. The report says a tractor driven by Darren Kelso of Tyvola swerved into a ditch to avoid hitting the man, and the 87-year-old ended up crashing into Ryan Plock of Falls City. Plock drove a truck traveling behind the tractor. The truck reportedly got hit on its left side. Plock and Kelso both walked away from the crash uninjured. It took VPD SWAT almost 3 hours to take a man into custody last Friday. The police say a call of an assault sent them to a home in the 700 block of East Guadalupe Street. When they got to the home, they encountered the suspect and went into a standoff. The suspect eventually surrendered and police took him into custody. 24-year-old Carlito Hernandez faces several charges this morning, including aggravated assault with a weapon. He's in the Victoria County Jail on a $70,000 bond. Hernandez reportedly assaulted a woman at the home. Authorities took her to a local hospital for treatment. The extent of her injuries are unknown. The suspect in the shooting of 3 students of Palestinian descent was arraigned Monday in a Vermont courtroom. Authorities charged Jason Eaton in the shootings of Hissam Arwatani, Kenan Abdelhamid, and Tassin Ahmed. 2 of the victims had on keffiyehs, a traditional headdress worn in parts of the Middle East. Police say the gunman confronted the men without saying a word and fired off 4 rounds. Attorney General Merrick Garland says both the FBI and the ATF are investigating the shooting to determine if it was a hate crime. Now to new details about a big scare for passengers leaving a flight or on a flight leaving New Orleans for Atlanta when a man jumped out of the plane.
Go y'all, go y'all.
Passengers in New Orleans were rushing to get off this Southwest Airlines flight just before it was supposed to take off. Authorities say a man opened the emergency exit and jumped onto the wing.
We got a situation here. We had a passenger decide to go ahead and jump out the emergency exit.
In this photo from journalist Tim Chernow, you can see the open emergency door above the wing. Video from inside the terminal shows the man being eventually pulled out of a service truck on the tarmac, ground personnel holding him until police arrived.
Wait, what? Someone jumped off?
The flight was still preparing to depart for Atlanta when passengers were told to get off.
Everyone was overwhelmed, the anxiety, the panic, the hysteria, you could feel it.
Amara Blythe was on the plane. She says rumors about what was left behind in the man's carry-on caused panic and chaos.
People ultimately were trampled, people were injured trying to exit the plane.
Rhiannon Alley, ABC News, New York.
Authorities say they believe the man suffered a mental health emergency. He was hospitalized for evaluation. The halls of the White House are all decked out for the holidays. First Lady Jill Biden unveiled this season's decorations Monday morning with the theme Magic, Wonder, and Joy. Included in the decor are 98 Christmas trees, more than 142,000 twinkling lights, and nearly 34,000 ornaments. The massive tree this year celebrates cheerful scenes, landscapes, and neighborhoods from across the country. The official White House menorah is also on display in the Cross Hall. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell. The time is now 6:38 on our Tuesday morning. Here's a look at what's coming up on 25 News Now Sunrise. A random act of vandalism in the Inez area caused several hundred homes and businesses to lose power.
Israel and Hamas agreeing to extend their pause in fighting. I'm ABC's Justin Finch with how long it's set to last and what President Biden wants to see happen next.
And coming up after the break, we're going to take a look at your school bus forecast. We'll take a look at that allergy report, and we'll also take a look at the severe thunderstorms coming our way on Thursday. Well, good morning, Crossroads. Look at this large system, winter system rather, affecting the entire northeast coast, all the way from New York, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Indiana, and Illinois, all experiencing some crazy snow and probably affected some of y'all's travel plans. That actually leads us to today's weather poll. Today's weather poll asks, did the weather affect your travel plans? So let's take a look. Oh, looks like it changed a little bit. 9% of y'all are now saying yes, that weather did affect your travel plans, and 91% of y'all are saying no, it did not. That's pretty good. I'm glad y'all got back safe. Fill on today's weather poll, go to crossroadstoday.com/vote-weather to participate and see what everybody else is saying as well. Well, like I said, look at all that snow is occurring out there in the northeast right now. In fact, I know parts of New York, like Buffalo on the west side, right next and just east of the Great Lakes, are going to expect up to 2 feet of snow. That is a lot of snow up there in the northeast. But here down in our area in the Texas and here in Texas, we still got that cloud deck kind of lingering around a little bit, but it'll be mostly out of our way, kind of clearing up a little bit by this afternoon because that cold front kind of still came through our area. But we're going to be slowly warming up over the next few days. Actually, in the middle of that little warm up here, we're going to have a tropical low make landfall in California, and that's going to quickly traverse right over the mountains and redevelop in the Panhandle region on Thursday, giving us all that southerly flow, bringing us plenty of moisture and room for severe thunderstorms. To take a look at the severe weather outlook issued by the National Weather Service, they got a slight risk, and this is 3 days out. This could be an actual big event because it's 3 days out, a slight risk. That could be turned into an enhanced risk at any moment. But parts of us, like half of Victoria County, Jackson, Lavaca, and Wharton, y'all are under the gun for that slight risk for tornadoes and hail. We'll take a look at that. And there's warmer temperatures coming this weekend and more in just a few more moments. Back to you, Carolina.
Thank you, Parker. A new study found so-called Zoom fatigue is real and may take a toll on the brain and the heart in educational settings. In the small study, 35 students attended lectures at a university in Austria. Half attended a 50-minute lecture through video conferencing. Then the following week, they attended a lecture in person. The other half of the class started with in-person and then switched to online. The electrical activity of their brains and hearts were monitored. They also took surveys on their fatigue and mood levels. Participants reported feeling drowsy and fed up while taking part in the video conference. The brain and heart activity back that up. The study was published in the journal Scientific Reports. The researchers say the study shows the physical toll of video conferencing, and they say it suggests video conferencing should be a complement to face-to-face interaction, but not a substitute. That leads us to your viewer poll. You can scan the QR code right there on your screen to take part. We ask you, have you used Zoom in the last year? Okay, let's take a look. 37% of you say yes, you have, and 63% of you say no, you have not. Thank you for taking part in today's viewer poll. Research shows nearly 1 in 5 adolescents are using melatonin to sleep. That's from a study published in JAMA Pediatrics. It also found 6% of children ages 1 to 4 and 18% of children ages 5 to 9 are given melatonin by their parents as a sleep aid. This data came from parents of 993 children ages 1 through 14. Research found these children took the supplement regularly, and the body naturally produces melatonin, but it can also be taken as a supplement, which is sold over the counter. Pediatricians recommend parents discuss their child's sleep issues before starting any kind of sleep aid. Still to come on Sunrise, news to know before you go. Shots rang out following a large fight near Northwestern University Chicago campus Monday. Shots rang out following a large fight near Northwestern University's Chicago campus on Monday. Officers responded to a call of shots fired near a campus building just after 9 p.m. They spoke with a witness who said there was a large fight in the street involving multiple assailants. Chicago police say witnesses saw a woman pull out a weapon during that altercation and fire at least one shot. The crowd then fled the scene. So far, police have no suspects in custody and investigation is ongoing. Several people were hospitalized when a bus crashed into a home in Arizona on Monday night. Police say the crash happened shortly before 7 p.m. near Broadway Road and Stapley Drive. 2 cars, a pickup truck, and a city bus were involved in the incident. Authorities say the vehicles collided on the road, which caused the bus to veer off and hit a home. Several parked cars were also damaged in the neighborhood. A total of 8 people were hurt in the crash. 3 people on the bus and 2 people in the home were taken to the hospital. 3 others were treated on the scene. Police say 2 people inside the pickup truck ran away from the scene before officers arrived. A search is underway to locate those individuals. Police are investigating to learn more about what led to the crash. Heavy snow fell in parts of New York, causing treacherous driving conditions. Some areas saw up to a foot or more of snow. Some areas reported downed power lines as well as multiple crashes and disabled vehicles on the roads. The bitter cold moved in Monday night, and temperatures can expect to remain frigid through this morning. The National Weather Service says heavy snow and high winds could make travel difficult. 2 hospitals in New Jersey stopped admitting new patients to their emergency rooms after a ransomware attack. The cyber attack may have compromised patient information. The attack targeted Mountainside Medical Center in Montclair and Piscac Valley Medical Center in Westwood. They're part of the Hackensack Meridian Health System. The hospitals have diverted ambulances and other emergency vehicles to ERs of nearby hospitals. The two hospitals are rescheduling non-emergency and elective procedures until their systems are back up. Port Lavaca has postponed its annual Christmas Festival of Lights parade. The parade was scheduled for this Friday, but it was postponed due to the Sand Crab football playoff game. The parade will now be on either December 8th or the 9th. The parade will be starting at the Bayfront Peninsula Park and will end at Sand Crab Stadium. After a hotly contested 2022 primary, U.S. Representative Henry Cuellar works to mend relations with labor groups ahead of 2024. Read this story by the Texas Tribune on our website, crossroadstoday.com. And we want to invite you to experience our digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. You can find it on your connected TV. Just search Crossroads Today Plus. And now let's take a last look at our viewer poll. Today we asked, have you used Zoom in the last year? 37% of you say yes, you have, and 63% of you say you have not. Let's go ahead and turn to Parker now for our forecast.
Thanks, Carolina. Good morning, folks. It's a little cool start out your morning, starting at about 50 degrees at that morning temperature here in the Crossroads. With a dew point 36, make it a little bit dry out there because we had that cold front come through our area on Sunday, but we're going to be slowly warming up just a little bit today into the low 60s today. It's actually going to be in a little warming trend for the next few days here. Tomorrow we're going to be in the mid 60s, so we're going to be slowly warming up, like I said, into the 70s by this weekend. But about a third of the way through that warming trend, we're going to have a tropical system come out of the Pacific and come our way, giving us some thunderstorms on Thursday. In fact, the National Weather Service issued a slight risk for severe thunderstorms in our area on Thursday. But here in the Crossroads, it can be slowly warming up back in the 70s, like I said, but we have an alert day for Thursday with those severe thunderstorms in our area.
Parker for that forecast, and thank y'all for joining us. Have a wonderful start Tuesday.